And a pleasant good afternoon, everyone. Live from the First Niagara Rink inside of Harbor Center. This is the 2016 IPC Ice Sledge Hockey Pan Pacific Championships. Preliminary round game number 1 on this Friday afternoon. It's Canada against Pan Pacific. I'm Mark Morris. I'll be calling the play for you this afternoon. And Team Canada coming off 2 straight wins here in this tournament. Winning by a combined score of 6-2. Won over Korea by a score of 4-1 in their latest game, which was played on Wednesday night, was against the United States. They won 2-1 on a goal by Tyler McGregor late in the third period. So Canada 2-0 here in today's game, going into today's action, as the starting lineup presentations are being commenced as we speak. And for Team Pan Pacific, they have lost both their games here in this tournament, only scoring 1 goal in each of the 2 games. And they're looking to try to play a little bit of a spoiler here and ruin Canada's chances of going into the gold medal game undefeated. Canada will play in the gold medal game regardless of their result here today. They are 2-0 in this tournament. Pan Pacific will be playing in the bronze medal game no matter what their result is today. If you guys want to follow along this tournament, you can follow the IPC ISH on Twitter at IPC ISH, on Facebook Ice Sledge Hockey, and if you want to get involved in the conversation, use the hashtag Buffalo2016. Our starting goalies here this afternoon, a surprise starter for Canada as their backup Dominic Larocque is going to get the call between the pipes for Canada, as Corbin Watson has started both contests so far for Team Canada. As Watson in the 2 wins and a 1.33 goals against average. For Canada, or Pan Pacific I should say, it's going to be Kyle Huckabee, the Canadian, has a 4.89 goals against average going into the play today. Canada in the home white and Pan Pacific in the road blacks are about to set to get this game underway. 3 15-minute periods, and the first 15 minutes are underway here from Buffalo. Henry trying to play it up ahead, is taken back by McGregor in the Pan Pacific line. McGregor pass across the edge and scores! Off the hop, Greg Westlake gets on the board for Canada, and just 12 seconds in, Canada leads 1-0. So Greg Westlake with the shot from the far circle, let it go, beats Huckabee. And again, at 12 seconds off the hop here, Canada takes a 1-0 lead. Westlake, that's his 5th point of the tournament, 2nd goal, as he picked up a goal the other night against the United States. As McGregor hits the basket, deflected wide by Westlake. Or are you looking for 2? Westlake got it out in front. Here's McGregor, takes a shot and blocked off by Sudo. Is picked up in behind the net. Bowden can't corral it, but he does backhand it all the way around to the far side. Dean Quebec overshoots the puck, and it's checked there by McGregor, by Trudeau. McGregor hands now for Bowden. Bowden trying to spin away from the check of Trudeau, and Trudeau races back after it. Trudeau trying to play it up the far wall. It's cleared out in front by Canada. It's taken away by Pan Pacific and fired off the wall in neutral here. And Kumagai almost got knocked off stride there as he tried to fire the puck in deep by Block. Block has it now. Sends it back for Bowden. Bowden spins inside his own zone. Leaves it back now. And Dixon fires the pass up ahead a little too far, and this will be called back on an icing against Canada. Bowden gets the primary assist on the Canada goal, And McGregor picks up the second assist on the Westlake goal with 12 seconds into the opening period. As Wallace fans on the shot in the Canadian zone is taken back by Dixon. Dixon gets on across out in front, goes all the way to Delaney. Delaney leaves it on now. Bridges passes up at just out of the reach of Cozzolino. And it's taken back by Henry. Pass up at now for Zeich. He can't corral it. It's taken back by Grove. And a battle there along the far wall in neutral territory. It's still battled there by Delaney and Henry. It comes free and it's taken back by Block of Canada. Hands it off now for Armstrong. Armstrong gives it up now for Delaney. Delaney near circle, takes a low shot, blocked by Henry as it goes in behind the net. As it's played off now into the near corner in the Pan Pacific zone. It's taken back by Armstrong. Giving on now to Bridges, trying to swoop around in front. Got it out of front, and a shot. It's stopped by Huckabee. Still loose and taken in the fired down low by Delaney. As Canada tries to make a line change. Back at the near point, kept in by Block. Block gives it now to Armstrong, trying to cut towards the middle. Armstrong goes to the near circle. Hands it off now. Sorley lost it. It's kept in by Canada. As a pass now goes to Dorian. Dorian set it out in front and goes all the way out into neutral territory. Whitson gets checked there by Grove along the far side in neutral territory and is fired all the way back down into the Canadian zone. It's going to be called back on an icing against Pan Pacific. 11:39 to go. We're in the opening period. Greg Westlake started the scoring for Canada just 12 seconds into the game, and Canada has the 1-0 lead in this preliminary round action of the Pan Pacific Ice Sledge Tournament. Face off to the left of Huckabee is won by Canada as it's battled there encircled, comes free for a moment. Back in the middle is taken by Eustace of Pan Pacific. His long stretch pass. It's off the sled of one of the Canadian players, and racing after it is Grove. Grove can't get to it first as it's played back by Canada. Whitson passes it over. It's given up ahead now to Sorley. Sorley has it in the middle. It's knocked off strides, taken back by Pan Pacific on the delayed offside. Mashawa fires it off the near wall and all the way into the Canadian zone. Whitson gets to it first. Has it up now, deflected and taken back by Pan Pacific. And a collision there by Sorley on, I believe, Pseudo. And a penalty has been called on the play. A roughing penalty has been assessed. And it's going to go against Sorley. So with 10:51 to go in the opening period, Pan Pacific will work on a power play, as Pan Pacific has not scored a power play goal in this tournament so far. The face-off will be to the right of the Canadian goal. Off the draw, is taken on a quick shot, blocked. And comes loose on the far side, taken by Westlake. And it's kept in by Quebec of Pan Pacific. His long shot hit the head of one of his teammates. Kubagai's shot blocked down in front by Canada. And it's taken by Westlake and fired all the way back down into the Pan Pacific zone. Quebec gives it on now. Pass too far. It's taken back by Canada. Dixon has it, fires in the middle and all the way down right on to Huckabee. Minute 20 to go in power play time for Pan Pacific. Quebec has it now. Quebec has it in the middle to Trudeau. One touch pass up ahead, and it's taken back by Canada, and got another penalty here coming up on the play. A team penalty has been assessed. with 1:11 to go in the first penalty to Canada. They will have to try to kill off a 5-on-3 as Brian Shololaki has been assessed a teeing penalty, and the faceoff will be to the right of the Canadian goal. 1-0 Canada. Tied up in the circle, trying to be sent back to the point, but it overshoots Wallace and goes all the way into the Pan-Pacific zone. Henry starts up slowly with it, gives it to Leroux. Can't get to it. It's raced after, and getting there first was Westlake, but it's taken back by Leroux. Leroux got it out in front of a shot, blocked aside. In front by the Canadian defense, as it's fired off the short glass and kept in for a moment by Henry, but it's nearly stolen back by Pan Pacific, and they fire it down low. Taken back by Dixon. Dixon plays it in behind his net, finds an opening in the middle and sends it all the way down into the Pan Pacific zone. Approaching 20 seconds to go in the first penalty. Wallace drives with it, and it's fired in deep and taken back by Delaney of Canada. He's checked to the boards. It's taken back by Canada's Dixon. Dixon will pass up to Sorley, who's out of the box. Canada now one man short. 44 seconds to go in the other Canadian penalty. Dixon can't handle cleanly the pass back in his own zone. It's a heavy forecheck there by Kumagai. Puck is still loose, and a collision there out in front. It's puck still's loose. And it's taken back by Canada's Dorian. That's it, a little too far for Sorley. And it's taken back by Pan Pacific. Fired in deep into the Canadian zone by Mishawa. Block has it now. Block fires it through the middle, all the way down, knocked down, and played inside the Pan Pacific zone. And Canada has successfully killed off the 5-on-3 power play. And we got another whistle on the play, and a too many men penalty has been assessed to Canada, as they were trying to make a change at the end of the penalty kill. So it'll be a bench minor penalty assessed to Canada, their third straight penalty. So with 7:57 to go here in the opening period, Canada will have to kill off another penalty, and serving the bench minor will be Steve Arsenault. The face-off will be to the left of the Canadian goal. 1-0 Canada. On a goal 12 seconds into the game by Greg Westlake. Eustace fires it all the way around to the far side, taken by McGregor. McGregor circles back to his own zone and fires it all the way down, right onto Huckabee. Huckabee sends it up ahead now for Wallace, who corrals it in his own zone. Wallace maneuvers and gives it to Grove a little too far, but it goes deep into the Canadian zone, but Dixon gets to it first for Canada. Dixon finds an opening and sends it all the way down into the Pan Pacific zone. 1:20 to go in this power play opportunity for Pan Pacific. There's a pass on the far side, deflected into the middle, and it's taken back by Canada's block. And they'll fire in deep into the Pan Pacific zone to kill off more time in this power play opportunity for Pan Pacific. Wallace passes it in the middle now to Eustace. He can't get further, and it's taken back now and pass up ahead for Colizo. Leo gets knocked off stride, and it's battled there inside the Pan Pacific zone. And it's taken back by Pan Pacific and fired out into neutral territory. Shololiki fired in deep into the Pan Pacific zone, approaching 30 seconds to go in this power play for Pan Pacific. Fired off the far wall. It's taken back by Canada's Bridges. Bridges hits the Pan Pacific line. Bridges still has control on the far side. He's being swarmed with Pan Pacific players. Bridges pass now to Delaney. Takes a shot that went over top of the net. Delaney regains control of it on the far side. Tries to send it down low to Bridges, but it's taken back by Pan Pacific. And Grove just clears it all the way down into the Canadian zone. Gamel will get back to it first. And Canada successfully kills off their third straight penalty. Jamal trying to leave it there, and Ree gets it himself. Jamal gives it now to Bridges. But it's nearly stolen back by Kumagai, who collides with Bridges out in neutral territory. Eustace has it for Pan Pacific and fires off the near boards into the Canadian zone, but it's played back out by Canada, and a pass in the middle now to Bridges. And he regains control of it into the Pan Pacific zone. Trying to pass it off, but it's knocked away by Pan Pacific to the far side. And a heavy collision there by Trudeau and Delaney. Played over to the near side, taken back by Kumagai. Clears it out in the neutral territory, taken back by Block. Lays it on back now and taken by McGregor. Has it up now to Westlake. Westlake takes a long shot that went wide. Dixon. Lost in. A penalty coming up here in a play against Pan Pacific. Out in front of him. McGregor can't play cleanly, and it's not touched yet by a Pan Pacific. Now it is. And a penalty has been assessed on a play to Pan Pacific. A elbowing penalty. So with 4:42 to go in the opening period, Canada will go on their first power play attempt. As Ralph D. Quebec will sit for 2 minutes for elbowing, as Canada's power play has only scored once here in this tournament, but they definitely have some offensive firepower that can be unleashed at any moment, as Westlake has it near the middle, cuts towards the far side, leaves it now for Dixon, takes a rising shot, went over top of the net. McGregor pinches down to keep it in. McGregor tries to set out in front. There's a shot by Westlake, and it's stopped by Huckabee, and looks like we have a penalty or something being called on the play. And no penalty has been assessed here, so unsure about why the whistle was blown there. But the faceoff has come outside the Pan Pacific zone with a minute 43 to go in power play time for Canada. Dixon gives it now to Bowden, in over the Pan Pacific line. Has it on the far side, trying to pass the middle from McGregor. Takes a shot into the chest of Huckabee, and he will hold on to it. Face-off will be to the left of the Pan Pacific goal. Off the draw, it's one back to McGregor. McGregor gives it now to Dixon in the middle. Dixon moves down, gives now to Westlake near circle. Takes a shot, stopped by Huckabee, the rebound, and another save by Huckabee. And he's trying to dive on top of it to halt play, and the whistle has been blown. As Canada has been buzzing here on this power play opportunity, creating some great chance. And a nice pass there by Dixon, who went towards middle, draw the coverage into him. And Wesley got open at the near circle, fired a low shot that was chest saved by Huckabee. He was able to corral the rebound for a face-off. And off the face-off was not done cleanly, so it'll need to be redone to the right of Huckabee. Off the draw, trickles right to Huckabee, and he will smother it for a face-off. Still in the Pan Pacific zone. Sorley Gets there first. Gives back now to Armstrong. Armstrong cut towards the middle. Lost it, but still has control of it. Armstrong. Hands it off now for Delaney. Delaney gives now to Armstrong. Armstrong comes down the near side. Now around and behind the net. Armstrong looking for an open man. Hands now to Delaney. Delaney gives it off now for a low shot. Sledge saved by Huckabee. Cozzolino holds it in. Gives now to Armstrong. Armstrong. Left in. It's picked up now by Dorian. Dorian. To Armstrong. Hands now to Cozzolino. Cozzolino. Trying to pass it back to Armstrong. Gets tangled up there along the near wall. 2-on-2 battle ensues. There's still battle for it there along the near wall as Pan Pacific returns to full strength. And it's cleared all the way down into the Canadian zone, and this will not be an icing. Racing after it now is De Quebec, but he is cut off by Delaney, and Delaney gets back after first, trying to evade the forecheck of Pan Pacific. Delaney cuts towards the middle, gives now to Dorian. Approaching 2:20 to go in the opening period, 1-0 Canada. Delaney trying to start it out in front, blocked in front by Pan Pacific, and fired off the short glass by De Quebec all the way down into the Canadian zone, and this will just make it across the icing line for an icing against Pan Pacific. Coming up tonight, USA and Korea and the other preliminary round action, as we have 2:02 to go here in the opening period. 1-0 Canada. Thank you for joining us on this Friday afternoon. McGregor has off the face with a shot. Huckabee made the stop and dives on top of it to hold for another face-off. Canada has had all 7 shots on goal here so far in the opening frame, as Pan Pacific has had a tough time establishing a forecheck and offensive zone time, and Canada has certainly had the offensive opportunities but only have the 1 goal to show for. Off the draw on the far side, taken by Westlake on a quick shot, is stopped by Huckabee and held on to again. You gotta credit Kyle Huckabee so far here. He has stopped all but 1 so far, but Canada has had some glorious chances to extend their lead even further, but Huckabee has kept his team in it here with 1:51 to go in the opening period. Off the draw, 1 back by Pan Pacific. Pseudo. He tries to clear it along the near side. It's kept in as it's battled there along the near side. Bowden left it for Westlake, who fires it in deep. And it's taken back by McGregor. McGregor, second front shot, scores! Westlake is second of the period. Gives Canada a 2-0 lead. A nice shot made by McGregor, who raced after the loose puck in behind the net. Got it out in front for the initial attempt as it came loose at the other side, and Westlake fires it between the arm and post of Huckabee. So Canada gets their second goal here. Both goals scored by Greg Westlake. McGregor picks up the only assist on the Westlake goal with 1:30 to go in the opening period, as we have an icing here against Pan Pacific with a face-off to the left of Huckabee with 1:15 to go now in the opening period. Kumagai can't control it on the near side, gets control of it. Sends it now to an open far side. Henry has it now for Pan Pacific. Fires off the wall, out to center, and just behind Trudeau, who was looking to streak ahead for possible opportunities. Played back into the Pan Pacific zone. Wallace fires it off the wall on the far side, out in the neutral territory. Approaching 45 seconds to go in the opening period. Dorian gets over the line, but it's called on the offside. And the faceoff will come outside the Pan Pacific zone. Faceoff will be to the near side outside the Pan Pacific line. Gasolino has it in neutral territory, trying to leave it for block. It's sent on ahead now for Bridges. Gives it up now for Delaney. Trying to leave it there, but it's knocked away by Kumagai, but regathered by Delaney to Gasolino. Gasolino trying to race down the near side with it, trying to send it out in front, and does to Delaney. This shot went wide. Trudeau gets to it with 10 seconds to go in the opening period. Trudeau cuts towards the middle. That's up now on the far side. Race after is Sudo with 3 seconds. Sudo in over the Canadian line. Drops it back to Leroux. And at the horn, a shot is let go and stopped by Lacqui. And that will bring the end to the opening period. So Canada on 2 Greg Westlake goals has a 2-0 lead through 1 period of play. We'll be back with second period action in just a little bit. Welcome back inside the first Niagara rink inside of Harbor Center. We're about ready to get going with second period action in this IPC 2016 Ice Sledge Pan Pacific Tournament. This afternoon's game featuring Team Canada and Team Pan Pacific. Team Canada on 2 Greg Westlake goals lead 2-0. I'm Mark Morse. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this Friday afternoon here as Canada, no matter what result they get here today, they will play in the gold medal game tomorrow afternoon. Pan Pacific, no matter what their result is, they should be playing in the bronze medal game tomorrow afternoon. There'll be another game coming up here in the preliminary round later on tonight as Team USA will take on Team Korea, and the winner of that game will determine the other finalists in the gold medal game and bronze medal game scheduled for tomorrow. But we still have plenty of action here to go, as both teams have returned to the ice and are about set to drop the puck on second period action. If you're just joining us, Canada is in the home whites. Pan Pacific is in the road blacks. Kyle Huckabee had a strong opening period for Canada. Stopped 7 of 9 shots and really kept his team in as Canada put on some heavy pressure throughout the opening 15 minutes. And for Team Canada, surprise starter in goal today, Dominic Larocque. Not normal starter Corbin Watson, and Larocque only faced 1 shot that was credited to him just at the horn at the end of the first period. As second period action is underway with Dixon trying to pass it off head and knocked away by Pan Pacific, and Trudeau has it over the Canadian line to LaRue. A shot sticked aside by Larocque. Played over to the far side, taken back by Canada, and overskating it was Arsenault. As it's battled there along the far side, back now to Westlake. Westlake leaves now for Dixon. Pass up ahead and behind Bowden, hit a sled. It's kept in by Pan Pacific's Trudeau. Trudeau spins back to the far point. Trudeau trying to center it out in front. It's taken back by Canada's McGregor. Up and now for Bowden, just a little too far. And punched to the side by Henry. Wallace has it now. Wallace fires it off the wall and behind his net, up now to Kumagai. Kumagai can't corral it. And it's played now to Westlake. Westlake leaves now for Armstrong. He overskated. It's kept in now to Dixon. Dixon cuts towards the middle. Still has control of it. Passing down low for Bowden. His shot stopped by Huckabee, and he will hold on to it. And if you're tuning into this tournament for the first time, the Pan Pacific team is a team that is made up of players from Japan, Canada, and the United States. So it's a collection of all quality players from these 3 countries. And on their uniforms, on the shoulders and underneath the numbers on the sides are the flags of the 3 countries that make up this Pan Pacific team. As Zeich tries to play it, and the whistle has gone here, and it looks like a offside here on the play, and the faceoff will take place on the far side outside of the Pan Pacific zone. 13:40 to go here in the second period. 2-0 Canada, as the faceoff's won back to Armstrong, but he has to race back after it. Armstrong plays it inside his own zone, starts up with it. Pass up ahead, it's taken away by Zeich. Zeich fires it deep and behind the Canadian net. And it goes all the way around to the near side. It's battled there along the near wall. Eustace has it now. He takes a shot, blocked to the side by Lacroix. And puck comes back out in front and is stopped for a whistle. The faceoff will take place to the right of Larocque. Tie up off the draw, 1 now to Jamel. Jamel is a pass over now to Bowden. Bowden fires it up ahead behind McGregor, but he's able to corral it. McGregor got in the middle, get up into there by De Quebec as it's cleared off to the near side and kept in though by Canada. Bowden kept it in at the line, down to McGregor. McGregor has it along the near wall, trying to pass it back to the line. It's played out in the neutral territory and taken back now by Pan Pacific, and Zeich got hit there by McGregor as De Quebec fires in deep into the Canadian zone. No icing. Jamel trying to pass it on now to Whitson. Whitson trying to give it back now to Jamel, but slow back by Pan Pacific's Grove. Left now for Eustace. Eustace trying to center it out in front. Grove can't reach to it. Zeich has it. Zeich takes the shot and it just went wider than that. Whitson trying to get it at center. It's taken back by McGregor. He gets knocked off stride. It's played off now to the near side by Grove as both teams try to make a line change. Jamel, he gets stood up there by De Quebec. Dixon has it now in his own zone. Dixon has control of it at center. Gives over to Dorian. Dorian trying to pass to the middle, taken away by Zeich, and he gets leveled there by Sorley, and those two jab back as the puck goes all the way back into the Canadian zone, and Sorley by Mishawa. And Sudo fires it around in behind the Canadian net, and it's nearly stolen away by Sudo as it's played up by Canada out of the neutral territory, and Sudo fired it back deep, but it's taken back by Arsenault of Canada. Up ahead for Dorian. In over the Pan Pacific line. Dorian trying to center it across, and it's taken back by Pan Pacific, but stolen away by Dixon of Canada. Dixon trying to send it across, too far for Dorian. Sudo has it now, fires off the far boards, and taken back by Dixon. Far circle, takes the shot, and it went wide. Played out along the near side and out in the neutral territory, and up, it's still battled there. Along the near wall inside the Pan Pacific zone with 10.5 to go in the opening period, in the second period. Mishawa fires it into the Canadian zone. Sorley has it inside his own zone, starts away with it. Sorley gets a pass now to Dixon. He collides with Leroux in center, and Shamaki has it now. Shamaki has it along the half wall on the near side. Down low it goes to Sorley. Sorley gets bumped there by Henry. Sorley trying to corral it. It's played back around to the other side by Bridges, and it's fired all the way out in the neutral territory, and it's taken back now by Canada's block. It's taken back by Leroux. And it's left there to Trudeau. Trudeau hits the Canadian line. Trying to pass it out in front. It's knocked away by Canada on the neutral territory. And it's taken back by Delaney. Delaney gives on across now to Armstrong. Tips it on ahead and races in after it. Henry fires it all the way around now to the far side. And it's kept in by Delaney. He can't send it down low. And it's taken back and fired off the wall in neutral territory by Trudeau. But it's bumped up stride by Block, who has it now inside his own zone. Leaves now for Armstrong. Armstrong trying to pass it to Cozzolino, who lost it for a moment, but gets it to Armstrong, who fires it in deep and races after it as it's fired off the side of the net. Wallace with it now. Wallace with 8:50 to go. Here in the second period, passes up and now to, oh my God, can't corral it. And racing back after and getting in there first is Block. Block plays it in behind the net with it. Gives it to Cozzolino, but it's taken out now and played in the neutral territory by Wallace. He fires it back in deep into the Canadian zone. Blocked. It's taken back by Grove. Grove fires it down low, all the way around in behind the net. It's taken back now by Block of Canada. Bridges tries to race after it on the far side. It's taken back by Pan Pacific, but can't be settled for a good offensive attempt, and it's taken back by Delaney of Canada. Up and now for Cozzolino. Cozzolino In over the Pan Pacific line, in now to block. He takes a low shot and it went wide. Westlake has it now on the far side, takes a chuck from Zeich. And down low it goes, out in front. Westlake a shot, saved by Huckabee. Delaney has it now. Delaney, sharp angle shot, stopped by Huckabee. Dave Quebec fires it all the way around to the far side, kept in there by Whitson. Whitson trying to send it down low and it's cleared on out by Pan Pacific all the way down into the Canadian zone and called back on an icing with nearly halfway through the second period. And this hockey game, Canada leading 2-0, out shooting Pan Pacific 11-3. And if you just joined us late here, Canada's scoring happened in the opening period, as Greg Westlake has both of the goals by Canada. Face off to the right of Huckabee, tied up on the draw. Comes free in the circle. McGregor can't make a play on it. It's checked off. And it comes loose down to Westlake. And it's knocked away from him before he can get a good attempt. And McGregor, a shot that went behind Huckabee and went wide of the net. Comes all the way down to the near side, taken by Bowden. Centered in front to Westlake. Takes the shot. And a diving stop by Huckabee. And he holds on with a penalty coming up here on the play as well. A team penalty has been assessed on the play. As Pan Pacific captain Satoru Sudo will sit for 2 minutes for teeing, and Canada will go back to work on a power play. They're 0 for 1 so far in the game, and it didn't do the face-off properly, so they'll do it again. No time was taken off on the clock. Once again, the face-off to the right of the Pan Pacific goal. And it's won back now and kept in by Dixon. To the far circle, gives over now to Westlake in the middle. Near circle shot, glove down, loose in front. And Bowden kept it in. Bowden has it at the far side. Cuts down, takes the shot. Saved by Huckabee. And he holds on to it. A couple of nice stops there by Huckabee. The first one, he made the stop, but didn't control the rebound cleanly. And it came loose for a moment in front of his crease area, but it was swept away, and another great chance there on the far side by Canada. But Huckabee was up to the task. And now the linesman is over at the Canadian bench discussing something with the trainer. But it looks like a little equipment fix, all taken care of, and play will be back underway here. Henry gives now to Wallace, fires it around the near wall, and it comes out into neutral territory where Dixon has to race back after it. 90 seconds to go here in this Canadian power play. Dixon lost it. It's taken now by Westlake, but it's going to be called on the offset. There was a little bit of a tie-up between Bridges and Dixon at the line, and when Westlake corralled it, he got control of it before the two players were able to circle around to tag up on an offside. So the faceoff will be on the far side outside the Pan Pacific zone with 1:20 to go in the power play opportunity for Canada. Off the draw, tied up there, and it's taken by Dorian. Dorian gives down to Sorley. Sorley, his rising shot went over wide of the net and all the way out on the neutral territory. Casalino has it now. Casalino leaves it now for Armstrong. Armstrong gets up now for Dorian. In the middle now to Sorley. Sorley still has control of it, draws the coverage to him, and it's knocked away from him, but it's corralled back now by Canada's Delaney. Delaney Races down low, comes around to behind, trying to tuck it in, and it is held tight to the post by Huckabee, and it stayed out. A nice job by Huckabee, who stayed tight to his post there, as Sorley was trying to wrap it around and try to tuck it underneath the arm of the goaltender Huckabee. But he holds for the faceoff with 45 seconds to go in the power play opportunity for Canada. 5:52 to go in the second period. Loose off the draw. It's still loose in the circle. Cozzolino sends it down low to Armstrong. Gets knocked off stride by Kumagai. It's given now to Delaney. Jumps his stick. Delaney races back after it. And he is held there on the play. Penalty coming up here to Pan Pacific. It's going to be a holding penalty. So a brief 5-on-3 power play coming up for Canada for 25 seconds. As Ralph D. Quebec will go for holding, and yeah, it was a definite hold there as it was trying to slow down the progress of the player who had the puck round behind the net, and it was definitely a grab of the jersey. So a 5-on-3 power play for Canada for only 25 seconds. And no, the 5-on-3 power play have been waved off as a late elbowing penalty to Canada has been assessed. And so a late hold here on the play. So the 5-on-3 has been neutralized here because of this Canadian penalty. We are not sure yet who got the holding. We, from our vantage point, cannot see the player that is in the box. We need to wait for it to appear on the board to see who it was. And looks like they're gonna play. Nope, they're gonna cancel out the 2-minute penalties here. So it'll be 4-on-4. Well, actually, it's a Canadian power play for the last 22 seconds here. As the 2 penalties cancel out. First shot! Blocked down in front. As McGregor has it now. His shot went wide. So Ben Delaney got called with the elbowing penalty that nullified the 5-on-3 chance for Canada. So those 2 penalties cancel out. So it's back to 5-on. Looks like another penalty has been assessed on the play here against Pan Pacific, as Jack Wallace is going to serve a penalty here. A roughing penalty has been assessed to Wallace. So it's been a trip to the penalty box here for the last little while. And all this now with a face-off to the right of Huckabee. Off the draw, it's going to be called a hand pass here. And the face-off will come outside the Pan Pacific zone. Once again, coming up later tonight, it will be Team USA against Team Korea, the other preliminary round game. And that game will determine the other 2 participants in the gold and bronze medal games set for tomorrow afternoon. And so we're under 5 minutes here in this first game between Canada and Pan Pacific. And here's McGregor's shot. Huckabee got a piece of it with the blocker. And the whistle goes here, and it looked like the puck latched onto the back of the net, so the whistle goes. So 1:45 to go in the penalty to Walls. There are 2 other players in the box, 1 for each side. As Dixon has it now. Gives across now to McGregor, back to Westlake. Westlake Leaves now for Dixon. Dixon cuts to the middle, has it. Now takes a shot off the outside of the inside of the post, and goes out the other side. As McGregor has it now into the middle. McGregor cuts it on net, takes the shot. Somebody could be the rebound, went wide. Bowden sends it back now to the near point for Dixon. Approaching a minute 10 to go in this power play opportunity for Canada. As Bowden's left-handed shot went wide. McGregor has it now. McGregor takes the shot. Went over top of the net to the other side. Taken back now by Westlake. In the middle now to Dixon. Dixon leaves it now for Bowden. Bowden gives over now. Deflected. And now McGregor has it. Westlake trying to center it out in front. Goes all the way now to the far side. Dixon trying to send it down low. It's taken back by Pseudo of Pan Pacific. Fired off the wall and behind the net. But it's taken back by Canada's McGregor. 30 seconds to go in this power play opportunity for Canada. Dixon now. Dixon trying to send it in front for Westlake, and it went wide. As Pan Pacific can't clear it out. Bowden has it down low. In the middle now. Westlake a shot. Dribbles wide. McGregor has it on the far side. Sends it back now to Dixon. Dixon gives now for Bowden. Back now to Dixon. His rising shot. Fired off the glass wide. As Trudeau has it now for Pan Pacific and fires it all the way down into the Canadian zone. As Pan Pacific returns to full strength. Dixon has it in behind his net. And almost lost it as McGregor follows up to try to play it out. But Canada having a hard time now getting it out. Battled there along the far side. Westlake has it now. Westlake trying to spin away from the forecheck of Pan Pacific. And it's taken by Pan Pacific, but can't be corralled. And Canada will clear it on out now to Cozzolino. Cozzolino, one man back. And a pass across now to McGregor, and it's going to be called on the offside. The pass was a little behind McGregor, and he couldn't corral it cleanly. Fans, you can follow all the action of the 2016 Ice Sledge Hockey Pan Pacific Tournament. You can follow along on Twitter at IPCISH, on Facebook Ice Sledge Hockey, and get involved in the conversation with the hashtag Buffalo 2016. And off the draw outside the Pan Pacific zone. A pass in the middle now to Sorley. Sorley bounces off a check. Gives now to Doria. That's in the middle now. And it just jumped the stick. And it's taken back now by Eustace. All the way out now and racing after it now is Zeich. Zeich has it. Trying to bounce off a check. It was in his sled. But it's taken back by Canada Sorley. Armstrong has it now in his own zone. Leaves now for Block. Block has it up now to Sorley. Sorley trying to bounce away from a check and over the Pan Pacific line. Sends it down low to Armstrong. Armstrong trying to center it on in front. Dorian couldn't get it cleanly. It bounced to Huckabee, and he will dive down to hold on for a face-off with 1:26 to go in the second period. Canada leading 2-0. Canada out shooting Pan Pacific 15-3, but has only scored a couple goals here so far, as Kyle Huckabee has had a strong performance in net, made some great saves to keep his team within this game, as the face-off now will be to the left of his goal. Off the draw, it's taken by Wallace, fires it all the way around to the far side, all the way out in the neutral territory where Kumagai tries to play it. Recoils it, and it's going to be called on an offside as one of the Pan Pacific players came in over the line, it looked like, as Kumagai was trying to play the puck in deep, and that necessitated an offside. Face-off will be to the far side, outside of the Canadian zone. Jamel Races back after it off the face-off in his own zone. Leads it off now for Delaney too far. As Yoshikawa fired it all the way around to the near side. We're under a minute now to go in the second period. And it's taken back by Canada. Played on the near side. It's still battled there, and it's taken back by Whitson. Whitson plays it up now for Bridges. Bridges passes it in the middle, just out of the reach of Cozzolino. And racing back after it is Wallace, and this will be called back on an icing against Canada with 35.5 seconds to go in second period action. Jamel has it for Canada off the draw. Fired off the far boards in the middle now to Delaney. Delaney trying to cut to the outside. He does. Takes a low shot off the post. And it goes all the way now. And just came out over the line. It comes loose in neutral territory, and the whistle is gone. And a face-off now will come to center here. With 14.8 seconds to go here in the second period, 2-0 Canada leading. Dixon has it now, in over the Pan-Pacific line. Dixon takes the shot, went wide. Comes to the other side, and out in front, Dorian can't corral it. Kumagai has it now for Pan-Pacific. Clears it all the way out, and that will bring an end to second period action. So Canada definitely had the pressure on in the second period, but couldn't add on to their lead. They lead 2-0 through 2 periods of play. We'll be back with third period action in just a little bit. Welcome back live inside the first Niagara rink inside of Harbor Center for this 2016 IPC Ice Sledge Hockey Pan Pacific Championships. This preliminary round game features Canada and Pan Pacific. Canada leading 2-0 through 2 periods play. We're about to get going here with period number 3, and all the scoring happened way back in the first period as Greg Westlake picked up both of the Canadian goals, and that has amounted to the scoring thus far in the game. I'm Mark Morris. Thank you so much for joining us on this Friday afternoon. We'll have another game of the preliminary round coming up later tonight at 7 p.m. The USA will take on Team Korea. Canada, no matter what the result is here today, they should be in the gold medal game coming up tomorrow afternoon. And Pan Pacific, no matter what their result is, they should be in the bronze medal game, I should say, coming up tomorrow as well. Teams getting lined up now for the face-off to get the third period underway. As the third period gets underway, and it's fired in by Pan Pacific all the way into the Canadian zone. Trudeau races after it, bumps off Dixon. As McGregor races after it and behind his own net to the near side. McGregor gives it now to Dixon, pass in the middle to Westlake. Westlake to Bowden. Bowden getting over the Pan Pacific line, gets knocked off stride, but he got it down low, and a tip went wide, and it goes all the way to the near side for Westlake. Can't corral it as Dixon battles near the corner, and it comes loose. It's taken back now by Bowden. Bowden heading out to Westlake. Out in front, McGregor's shot went wide. Westlake keeps it in, gives it now for Bowden. Bowden leaves now for McGregor. Got it out in front and stolen away now by Kumagai, who clears it all the way out in the neutral territory, and Arsenault will race back after it first in his own zone. Plays it off the wall to McGregor. Gives now for Bowden. Bowden gets knocked off stride by Eustace, but is able to get back the puck. Trying to clear it across. It comes loose in front of the shot. Scores! Billy Bridges slides it underneath Huckabee, and it's a 3-0 lead for Canada. A nice job there by Bridges after the puck was loose in front of the net. On a clearing attempt, Bridges took it away and slid it underneath Huckabee. And Canada now has a 3-0 lead here with 13:41 to go in regulation time. Block gives it up now to Armstrong. Armstrong comes wide. It's taken back now by Pan Pacific. Fired all the way around to the near side to Cozzolino. And the puck now is played neck now to Block, who nearly lost it to Pan Pacific. As a pass up ahead deflected off the stick of Delaney all the way down into the Pan Pacific zone. Duke Quebec gets there first to reclaim it. Leaves it up now for Zeich. Zeich. Played now on the near side. It's taken back now by Delaney. Delaney cuts in with a shot, and Huckabee got a piece of it, and it goes to the far side. And it's picked up now by Pan Pacific and fired out into neutral territory. Block gives it off now for Bridges, who picked up the last goal for Canada. In over the line he goes. Bridges cuts now to the far side. Bridges trying to send it down low. Takes a weak shot right on the rebound. Is stopped there by Huckabee as Bridges had a glorious opportunity to get his second of the day and extend the Canadian lead. One of the assists that was picked up on the Bridges goal was to Tyler McGregor, and McGregor has factored in an assist on all 3 of the Canadian goals so far, so a 3-assist, 3-point afternoon for Tyler McGregor, who picked up the game-winning goal the other night against the USA. And the face-off on the left of Huckabee is played now to behind the net. And trying to center it is Canada. And it's taken back by Pan Pacific and cleared on out by Wallace all the way down into the Canadian zone. And called on back for an icing. Face-off again will be to the left of the Pan Pacific goal with 12:03 to go in regulation time. And off the draw, it's a tie-up, one back. Then Black couldn't tee up for a one-timer attempt. But Armstrong races after it, and now it goes in behind the net. It's played there by Henry, but he's checked there and battled for in the near the near corner. Still battled there along the near corner. Henry lost it for a moment, and Armstrong chucks him to the boards. And he's trying to break free of the check, and he does, as Henry fires it off the far wall all the way back down to the Canadian zone. And once again, this will come all the way back on an icing call against Pan Pacific. Face-off once again will be to the left of the Pan Pacific goal. Bowden gets to it off the draw. Trying to race down low with it. Bowden still has control of it, trying to get it out in front. It's knocked to the side. And taken back now by Westlake, who fires all the way around behind. Picked up there by McGregor. McGregor trying to center it out in front. It's knocked away from for a moment, trying to regain control of it. It's taken back now by Pan Pacific, but kept in by Bowden. Bowden lost it. Sent back in deep by Dixon of Canada. McGregor leaves now for Bowden. Bowden trying to cut out in front. Pass in front. Went wide off Westlake. Dixon has it now. Sends it down low to Westlake. Tries to center it into the middle. Bowden has his shot. Stick to side by Huckabee. And Wallace fires it off the gourds. And all the way down into the Canadian zone. No icing. As Pan Pacific starts to make a line change. Arsenault with the now. Gives now to McGregor on the near side. McGregor gets spun around as the puck is still loose in the Canadian zone. Mishawa trying to play it in further. And it goes and sticks aside by the Canadian goaltender, LaRocque. Dixon plays in the middle. Too far for Westlake. And Kumagai, who after couldn't get it on the initial attempt, fires it into the Canadian zone. 9:50 to go in regulation time. And it's loose at the side of the net out in front. And Arsenault will clear it on out into neutral territory and all the way down into the Pan Pacific zone. And called on back for an icing against Canada with 9:38 to go in regulation time. A 3-0 lead for Canada. And for Canada, their scoring early on happened in the opening period as a 2-goal period by Greg Westlake. And here in the third, Billy Bridges picked up a goal early in the third. So that's how we got into our score, 3-0 here. As the face-off now will be to the right of the Canadian goal. Dixon with it now. Dixon sends it across now for Delaney. Delaney Pass it in the middle. It can't be taken by Bridges, and it's nearly stolen back by Trudeau, but Bridges is able to give it now to Cozzolino. Into the middle for Delaney. Delaney in over the line. Delaney. That's the middle. Takes the shot and just went wide. Bridges plays it in behind net. Bridges trying to backhand in front. Cleared away by D. Quebec to the far side. Leroux fires it off the wall out in the neutral territory. Jamel, he gets stood up there by Trudeau. Cozzolino with it. Cozzolino leaves it now for Delaney. Delaney gives now to Bridges too far. And Kumagai gets to it first inside its own zone. Kumagai still has control of it. Gets to center. Fires it off the wall and Canada recoils there. As Jamel lost it for a moment, it's taken back on a delayed offside by Pan Pacific, and now they realize they have to tag up on an offside, and they do as Canada has it now in their own zone. Giving on now to Sorley. Sorley still has control of it, and it's sticked away and taken back by Grove of Pan Pacific, but he lost it before he could make a move, and Whitson gets bumped there by Grove. They can't get it out on the far side in the Canadian zone. Still battled there along the far side point. It's loose behind Whitson, and now more bodies collide in to try to play the puck as it's still battled there as Grove tries to send it in, but it's blocked off and now picked up by Jamel. Given across now by Shumlicki. Shumlicki hits center. Gives it off now to Sorley. Sorley, hey, takes a hard hit from Eustace as the puck comes free and is shuffled on out by Pan Pacific. Block with it now. Block. Leaves it off now for Armstrong. Armstrong leaves it on now for Block. Block spins away from the forecheck. Block leaves now for Sorley. Sorley, he can corral it cleanly, but he regains control of it. Gives off now to Block. Block passes it on over to McGregor and over the Pan Pacific line. Charges down to the circle. Has it, looking for a trailer. And gets taken back now by Pan Pacific and out and all the way down into the Canadian zone. It's going to be called back on an icing against Pan Pacific with 6:35 to go in regulation time. A 3-0 lead for Team Canada over Pan Pacific. Once again, coming up later tonight is the second game of the evening of this preliminary round action. Team USA against Team Korea. Played on back now to Armstrong off the draw. Armstrong sends it down low to McGregor, and we got a penalty coming up here on the play against Canada. An interference penalty has been assessed. So with 6:28 to go in the third period, Pan Pacific will go on a power play as Kieran Block will go for interference. As cleared out off the draw by Canada all the way into the Pan Pacific zone. Huckabee leaves it now for Wallace. Wallace starts with it, slumps his way into the middle. Huckabee, Wallace, I should say, still has control. His shot glove down by LaRocque, and he holds onto it. Pan Pacific early on in this hockey game had 3 straight power play opportunities in the first, including a 2-man advantage. They were unable to capitalize on any of the chances, which has been the difference of the game so far for them, as one of those potential goals could have changed the outcome of the game, as Westlake lands a stiff check to Trudeau as Kumagai has it in the near corner in the Canada zone. Henry pitches down to keep it in, but it's taken back now by McGregor, who clears it all the way down into the Pan Pacific zone. A minute 10 to go in this power play opportunity for Pan Pacific. Wallace starts this latest rush up in the middle, just out of the reach of Kumagai, and all the way down and called on an icing with 5:30 to go in regulation time. Face off to the left of the Pan Pacific goal. One back to Pan Pacific. Wallace gets it up now for Leroux. Leroux gives now to Wallace on the return pass. Wallace trying to cut towards the middle. Has control of it still along the near wall. Got it out in front. It's taken back by Canada's Dixon and fired all the way down. Approaching a half minute to go in this power play opportunity. 5 minutes to go in this game. Canada leading 3-0. Leroux pass in the middle to Trudeau. Trudeau puts on the brakes and leaves it now for Henry. Henry takes a low shot, sticked aside by Larocque. As it's battled there along behind the Canadian net. Trudeau plays it now for Kumagai. Back to Henry. Henry to Kumagai. Kumagai is shot went wide. May have been a shot pass, but Trudeau wasn't able to handle the pass as the teams are now back at full strength. Leroux fires it in down deep. And it's taken back now by Whitson. As Bowden, a block I should say, has it now. Block. Hits the Pan Pacific line, gets bumped off stride. It's loose there just inside the Pan Pacific zone. They still battled for it. It's given now to Westlake. And it comes free now in the middle. And coming up with the shot, Jamel! And it just went wide. Wallace trying to spin away from the Canadian forecheck and fired off his own man. It's taken back now by Bowden. Bowden trying to cut to the middle. Leaves now for McGregor. His low shot blocked. He reloads. Still free. And it's shuffled to the side and finally cleared out on another attempt by Pan Pacific. Mishawa can't play it up ahead. Taken back now by Bowden of Canada. Gives it off now to Westlake, and it's knocked away by Pseudo to the far side. Whitson trying to send it down low, too far for Westlake, all the way around now for Bowden. Bowden to McGregor, gets knocked down, leaves now for Bowden. Bowden trying to send it out in front, too far for Westlake. 2 3/4 minutes to go in regulation time. Block sends it down low to McGregor. Jump his stick, taken back now by D. Quebec and try to be played on further by Yoshikawa as it goes all the way now to the far side. McGregor into the middle now for Westlake, puts on the brakes, takes the rising shot, went over top of the net. Bowden spins, Bowden as it comes loose in behind the net. It's taken back now by McGregor. McGregor trying to get it out in front, and Dorian can't reach after it. It goes all the way out in the neutral territory. 2 minutes to go in the game. Dorian with it now. Dorian in over the Pan Pacific line, trying to cut to the net. Sharp eagle shot went wide. Comes all the way to the far side, and Sorley bumps off Grove and is able to keep it in. Gives it off now and comes free as Pseudo can clear it out. Sorley has it now. Sorley takes the shot, puck down in front, and it trickles wide on the rebound. Pseudo has it, fires it off the boards out in the middle, and Eustace plays it off before he's checked off by Block. Grove with it now. Grove He gets knocked off stride and it's taken back by Canada, but kept in by Pan Pacific. Battled there at the near point. Comes free. Still battled for it inside the Canadian zone. Left now for Wallace. His long shot glove. And played now to Armstrong as we're under a minute to go in the hockey game. Centered out in front. Eustace fires to an open wing as we got a little jawing action between Wallace and Sorley. But that is ended in a shot by Canada. It's right on to Huckabee. Wallace gets bumped off by Bridges. Eustace. And a hard check there as Shalmaki and Wallace come together. Half minute to go in the hockey game. Shalmaki tries to send it down low. It's loose in the crease. And a shot knocked down in front. And Huckabee diving to trying to hold play, and he does. And a little extracurricular activity in front of the crease. As now both teams are making wholesale changes here with 22.7 seconds to go in the game. Canada leading 3-0. And off the draw to the right of Huckabee is taken by Pan Pacific but can't be cleared out. And on second effort it is cleared out by Kumagai. Armstrong tried to fire it in deep, but it's blocked off and taken by Kumagai. He fires one all the way wide of the Canadian net. And Whitson plays it now with 3 seconds to go. Gives now to Armstrong, and this will bring the hockey game to a close as Canada will pick up the victory here. 3-0 over Pan Pacific after a 2-goal effort by Greg Westlake and a little insurance goal by Billy Bridges here in the third. And Canada will up its record to 3-0 and will have a chance at the gold Saturday afternoon in the winner of the 7 p.m. matchup this evening between USA and Korea. And the players now are going to line up along their blue lines for player of the game presentation and the playing of the Canadian national anthem.
We will first award our players of the game for each team. To present the player of the game award today is the Vice President and Director of Hockey at Harbor Center, Nick Fetty.
As Nick Fetty, the President of Operations here at the Harbor Center, will handle the player of the game presentation, as Jack Willis will be the player of the game for Team Pan Pacific. Sort of a surprise here. I would have thought Kyle Huckabee would pick up the player of the game honors for Pan Pacific. He kept his team in the game throughout, stopped all but 3 shots, made 15 saves, but Jack Wallace is named the player of the game for Team Pan Pacific. As Tyler McGregor, who picked up 3 assists this afternoon, is the player of the game, player for Team Canada.
We now ask that both teams face the scoreboard as we honor.
And now we will listen in on the playing of the Canadian national anthem after Canada's 3-0 victory over Pan Pacific. Once again, the final score of our game here this afternoon, Team Canada 3, Pan Pacific 0. We hope you join us again later tonight at 7 p.m. as Team USA takes on Team Korea. I'm Mark Moore saying so long for now. We'll see you back here later tonight.